Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you. I'm throwing the Baer Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that back at me. Harold, thank you for hosting the stream. Appreciate it as always, my friend. Thank you to everybody that's here tonight in the stream. Yeah, Harold's in the stream. I know that Blue Zoidberg is here. Welcome, welcome. My voice should be fine tonight. I rested it after my singing stream because 2.5 hours of singing when you're not used to talking out loud that often can kind of hurt you a little bit. Especially when you're doing it from a seated position like I was. Hello, Aristofan. Hello, Jam. Hello, Blue Zoidberg. Hey, Mr. Bob. But last night we raised $300 for the Baer project, and that donation link is still here. Harold just cheered 32 bits. Thank you, Harold. I'm going to hit the old applause there. Thank you very much, Harold. Donate is still active. That page is still active, I believe, for the rest of this week. You can still make donations there. You're under no obligation to, but you're more than welcome to do that outside of me singing. Epic Open World to subscribe. That's 15 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Baer Cave Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat, and thank Epic Open World for their contribution by subscribing. Yeah, Twitch Prime coin. It's a thing you can just use if you want. You don't have to, but you can. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to hang out here, as always, this is the intro. This is the intro portion, right? There's the pre-show, where I talk while the pre-roll ad runs. Then there's the intro, which is this. And then we go on to the main portion of the stream. Then we take our pause to the cause. Then we get back to the main portion of the stream. Second half of the stream, where we talk about anime. If you didn't watch the Sony event today, I'm going to talk about we're going to talk about a bunch of things, I'm sure. We'll talk about a bunch of games that came out, or that are announced, nothing come out. But we're also, hey y'all, we're gonna talk about look, there's a queer, furry, dinosaur, sad high school indie game coming out where the lead character is non-binary. Their name is Fang, and it's called Goodbye Volcano High. Goodbye Volcano High. And no, we're not going to talk about Returnal. Here's the thing. Blue, I will recycle my joke about Returnal. My joke about Returnal that I tweeted was that is a name that was either one, a compromise by committee, or two, somebody came up with it and would not let it go. But I will tell you this. There are a bunch of people that have said on numerous occasions that studio definitely had conversations where there'd be a pause and then someone would go, "So we're going with Returnal?" Question mark? Like, who knows if it was a fight, but it was definitely a like, hey, are we definitely going to go with that? It's just, Returnal, there's a bunch of names of games that got announced that are not great. I think that Jazz one isn't a terrible name. It just, the font was bad. Deathloop is a terrible name. I don't care if that game looks awesome, because it does. Deathloop looks cool. But, like, Deathloop is... Also, or make it two words. Make it Deathloop. It's one word. I don't love it. It's a little revengeance, yeah. I am not going to buy a PS5. Sony said we have Spider-Man. Look, yeah, Epic Open World, it's a Miles game. And that rules. Let's go to the overhead. I'm going to retweet that we're live so that people can come and building. I'm going to retweet that we're live, and then we'll go to the overhead and we'll get to building. Because we're working on the Empire Dragon Lego set first. So we'll start that. I just want to check this. Cool. Yeah, right now I don't have any plans to buy anything. Here's the nice thing for me, is that Goodbye Volcano High is coming to Steam, and I wish listed it, so I'm gonna get that for Steam. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna be writing it. Harold says no plans for their system. Decidedly wants me to hit the gong, so I will gong it up. It is gong time, so we'll get this gong going. So we hit the gong. So we did that. If you've missed Monday's stream, we started the Empire Dragon. You can see we've gotten some work done here. If you haven't been to stream in a bit, I changed up my building kind of setup here, and I hope you like it. Although I do think that there is some auto adjustment with light here that I want to fix. Configure video. I'm still getting the light exposure, so we want auto exposure. Great. Turn off auto exposure. That should fix that. Empire Dragon Strikes Back, right? You absolutely. Oh, decidedly says you're an absolute treat on the Jackbox stream with Loading Ready Run. That's so nice of you to say. I will say this, y'all. I'll say this, y'all. Loading Ready Run. If you go to their YouTube, they do some of their for folks that don't watch all the VODs or the archives. They do a thing where they do highlights, and I'm in the highlight video, and I did not cry because I am trying to cry at very good things and very bad things, and not anything. So I am trying to temper my crying these days. But I will say I definitely got very emotional. I allow myself to be very emotional about a site that a collective I really appreciate and enjoy being included in there. I'm very happy with. I wish the second part of that clip, because it's the clip of all right, let's get actually. So we got our dragon here. Put our dragon over here so you can see it while I build. We'll put our people away. We got our sword and stone equivalent over here. You can see that sword and stone kind of thing. One of the things with that is the clip is like me being like, I can't. At least I'm rid of this stupid hat because I had been given a hat in this video or in the game Murder Party 2, True Murder Party, I should say. And then the joke of it was, the reality was that it was going to be passed on, and I was hoping that it would end up with a callback later in that video where Graham had been given the hat. And mostly I picked Graham because Graham was an option to give the hat to, but mainly it was because Graham, that hat on a fish head was just funny to me, and it looked very funny. I was kind of bummed that wasn't in there, but that's okay. I mean, they have a lot of funny stuff that happens, and it was a fun moment. And also, like I said, I got to be included in a thing that I really like and appreciate, and that rules. It's nice to feel included. Evan Narcissus wrote the Spider-Man game. He's written for Kotaku, IO9, and wrote the Rise of the Black Panther comic. Ooh, all right. That's awesome. Gary Whitta is working on some game thing because the Star Wars thing is going to probably bounce around. But yeah, there's a game. There's a cat game that looked good from Annapurna, and they put out great content. They produce great works and distribute those great works. So I am excited about that because that looked cool. Lots of cats. Oh, you watched the VOD today. Nice. Yeah, the Square game, he led a team of writers on it. It looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Like, I don't know, with all this stuff, like, I don't know. I want to point out this is not a decal. This is printed on the on there. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a small square, but it's not a decal. It's included, and it's on the same thing on the other side. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Well, sure it's there. But yeah, I would say the event looked pretty cool. For me, the Volcano game is probably the one I'm most interested in. I will say I'm also interested in seeing more. I don't know if it's a game I want to play, but it's definitely a game I want to watch. Is Bug Snacks? That's Bugsnax, and of course that's Phil and the Young Horses crew, um, and I'm excited for them. The Young Horses know how to fucking name things. Bug Snacks is a great name. Hi, Lord Crashington, and welcome. Um, so yeah, I mean, look, there's Hitman 3. Am I going to play the PC version of Hitman 3? Of course I am. Of course I am. There's other stuff that I'm probably not getting a PlayStation, so I don't. There's some stuff that I don't know if it's coming out, so I don't know if it's going to be a thing that I'm gonna try. I assume uh, that Deathloop um, will be multi-platform. I don't know if it's exclusive. If it is an exclusive, I'm sorry that I don't have that information. But I don't know if it's exclusive. I don't know. There was some stuff in it that looked interesting. Um, yeah, the indies seemed cool, and some of the stuff, overall looked neat. Uh, I don't have any love for Oddworld. I it, I never play. I've never played an Oddworld game. I have no reverence for it. I missed it. I guess I just missed Oddworld. I didn't have any friends that played it and loved it. Um, so looking at that, I was just like, okay, okay. I love Hitman, but I don't know what I want from Hitman 3. I mean, Epic Open World. If all stages of Hitman 3 are if it's using the Hitman 1 and 2 tech to basically do the you are the one being hunted, if the first level is you going out on a mission because that's the training level for the new stuff, and then every other level is you it's you solving the puzzle of how to kill the people that are there to kill you. I kind of like that a lot. Uh, if they add in blending in stuff with the disguises, and there's a lot they could do that I'm very excited about the possibilities. Um, I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff they can do in Hitman 3. Um, that's coming out next year, so January. It sounds like. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know. Maybe it'll be episodic, or it'll be. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna try. They'll figure it out. Um, but yeah, the devs have come out and said all the missions from the previous games will be in Hitman 3. Also, the unlocks you got from Hitman 2 will carry over. That's fun. It does limit them in meaning that I mean, it would be the same engine. It's going to be the same engine. It does mean that they have to plan for every weapon, where if Hitman 3 was its own thing, they could scrap certain things. So now they have to play around all of the toys they already have. And also, they can't have it so you can't finish a level unless you use a thing that you can't unlock unless you played the first one. So, whatever. Big, huge maps to explore. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'll be looking at the Hitman-focused YouTube video channels that I often look at to see. They'll probably be doing breakdowns and theories and all that as we go. As well as, I'm sure, plenty of streamers just playing Hitman and having a good time. They gate that stuff. Yes, Blue. They totally do, and that's important, right? But also, it's got to be that thing where if you don't have the phone that explodes, or the taser phone that doesn't explode but knocks the person out, you can't play around. You can't build that as your tool for the mission if you don't think everyone had it. Okay, I got a package coming in, y'all. So I switched my address for my wish list, my Amazon wish list. I have now switched that address to my parents' place in South Carolina, because if you missed my announcement, and I'll be talking about it probably in every stream, I'm moving to South Carolina for a while in July. So I've set that up. So anything that would be sent here, I don't want to get delayed, because sometimes people pick up things from Amazon and it doesn't actually take too long, but also everything's been weird, and maybe that it won't be the case. So there may be things that don't arrive in time, and I don't want them to arrive here when I don't live here. Here being where I'm in right now. So I set it up at my parents' place. Um, but I also have a couple things coming here before that. Uh, uh, and that's But yeah, I'm making the move. So I will be keeping in close contact with everyone about my streaming stuff. My plan is that starting in July 5th, or July 6th will be the first stream that I'll do from South Carolina. Stream should be the same. I am going to be keeping my schedule unless things change with work and getting settled in there. But I still plan to stream. I still could plan to continue doing all of this. So no worries there. Don't fret that. But it also means that um, the actual question mark right now is between July 1st when I leave this apartment and July 5th when I fly to my folks' place. Um, I don't know what my streaming schedule is going to be like there. It might just be because I'm going to be crashing with people, and maybe I'll be able to do some stuff off my laptop, or maybe I won't. I won't really know. Um, it'll kind of be up in the air. Uh, but the plan is to be able to continue streaming when I make the move. Um, I did the math, and so I have a laptop, and I'll be using that laptop uh, here on my streams here for a little while, right towards the end, right before the move happens. But uh, I'm going to ship my laptop and my monitors to South Carolina. Originally, the plan was not to do that. I was going to store my PC and just run everything off my laptop. But I think I'm going to be in South Carolina for a while. I don't know how long, but my thinking is probably into the winter. So um, I I don't want to go that long without it, and it is really helpful for streaming. Because if I'm just running off my laptop, I have my laptop and a webcam and the laptop's webcam. That's great for traveling. That's great. I did it in Christmas time when I was visiting my folks, so that was perfectly fine for that. It's not really fine for long term. It also means that if I'm using my laptop, I can't, and just my laptop, I can't really do game streams, Jackbox streams. I can cut a tab. I can use my iPad, but it's going to be taxing. If I want to do high quality, like the 16 by 9 camera that widescreen stuff that we're using here, well, that's going to be too taxing because right now, just doing 3 by 4 with two webcams on my laptop is like 30% of the CPU. It's not meant for that. It's not meant for long-term use, and also it's still cheaper to mail my PC to South Carolina than it is to replace my laptop when it dies from me using it too much as making it my primary. Yes, Epic Open World. I'm going to be moving in with my folks for a bit. I attempted to avoid this for as long as possible. As many of you know, I lost my job last year. I was already getting by and making it work as best I could. Get insurance. Yes, I'm going to be. I'm going to be shipping it with a shipping company and getting insurance on that shipping. Yes, I'm not. I'm not going to send my. I'm going to go through a company. I'm not going to just go and do uh, um, uh, like yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna go through a company and pack it. I've got a good box for the desktop. I'm gonna pack the insides of it really well. I've got lots of packing material, lots of stuff for that. I'm gonna take the graphics card out. I am not using a moving company, Blue Zodeberg. I'm actually going to be putting most of my stuff into storage here in New York. That's the plan because I am coming back. I'm not leaving the city for good. I'm moving temporarily. So the plan is to store most of my stuff here in New York, and then ship some things down to my folks' place, and then take like two big suitcases of stuff as well. Um, so I'm going to be moving stuff into storage mostly, so that when I come back here, I'll have stuff in storage. But I don't want to keep my desktop in storage. I'd rather have that here. I'm going to retweet. I was hoping a few more folks would join us tonight. As always, like, can't make it happen. But would have loved to had a few more folks here. So I'm just going to go give a retweet. My tweet. Hopefully, a few more folks will join us. If not, if this is a small little casual stream, that's okay. I'm not bummed about that. So I might end up using a man with a van to move my stuff into storage. I'm getting a storage facility space here in New York, and so I might end up doing that. I'm still waiting to hear from a friend who may be able to help me with that project of getting my stuff moved into storage. But mostly, I'm going to keep that stuff in storage. I'm going to take like I don't know, a few weeks worth of clothes and pack up a bunch of stuff and ship it all down, and then I'll take it from there. But you know that right now that is the plan. I'll be flying down on July 5th. Originally, I wanted to leave sooner, but even though we are currently in the world we're in, flights around July 4th, when you are buying those tickets in the beginning of June, not the easiest thing in the world to do. Which, makes sense. Um, Also, I used all my True Blue points, y'all. I have like I think I have 1,000 left. I used so many True Blue points. It literally, my flight to South Carolina from New York is costing me $35 because I spent 30 on the being able to check a bag, and spent $5 on tax or whatever, and the rest was points. And I'm glad I got my points from so many trips places. I'm glad my points worked out. But using those points, y'all, uh, the goal was to someday use that to go to Seattle for a PAX in the future, was to finally do that. But instead, it's going to South Carolina once, and now I got to rebuild up all those points. Ugh, whatever. I'm lucky. Well, thank you. I hope the move works well for me too. As I said, this is not something that I wanted to do, but it is something that is happening. It was never the plan, but also the plan was that I would have gotten a new full-time job last year. Hey, Lashbrook, thanks for throwing one of those emotes in the chat. Yeah, the plan was to get a full-time job last year, and then I ended up with a full-time contract gig that ended up months early, or 2 months early ended. Um, I was hoping would have been here sooner, but I just got home from work. Last week, that's totally okay. But yeah, I mean, I was hopeful to have full-time employment, but that just didn't work. And not a great time to get jobs, place to live right now. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've gone through savings so much. I've gone through so many savings already before this thing happened, and all of my contract work is that kind of kept me going. I would have to ask for help now and again. I would be looking for different solutions to the issues that I've been facing. But really, the honest truth is, I ran out of opportunities for good work because that good work isn't there, and I'm paying an incredible amount of money. And the stuff that I do, the work that I do now, won't go back. Some of the contract gigs that I do, most of them won't go back to come to our office. They will continue to be jobs that I can do that I'm currently doing. I think I put this on wrong. Yes, I did. Put this on the wrong way. These, which appears to be skis, go the other way. to other way. Um, it's supposed to be skis, but they're just like just looking cool looking stuff. Yeah, so New York is not a great place to live when you're not fully employed. It's not a great it's not the best place to live when you're fully employed because there's it's so expensive. And so I'm spending all this money and then uh things seemed okay even with COVID. We're still getting some work done. And then some of those gigs disappeared because companies are in rough shape. And then you have the added issue of my roommate moved out. And I was like, well, this is a bad time to get a new roommate, but it'll work out. It didn't. So I've had the last couple months, I have been paying to live in a two-bedroom. And that ticked up the old clock on me having to move because I went from, okay, well, these things will come and this thing will work and this will go to all right, I've got we got FaceTime going. Hey, do you think you want to see the apartment? I can, like I can let you in. We can't really social distance too much if you want to see the place, but I can take you on tours and people being like, yeah, I want to do this, and then it's like a couple days later, actually, I don't want to do this. Oh, actually, I'm not going to move to New York. Or, hey, well, I told my landlord that I didn't want to renew the lease, and now they're cutting me a break because they don't want to get a new tenant and all this other stuff. And you're like, yeah, I get all this. All of this makes sense, and I get it. Um, it is a bummer. What that is? I don't know what that. I heard a knock, but I don't know if that was my door or outside. So I'm gonna let that go, and we'll see. Because I have the window open, so that might have just been outside, someone knocking on our apartment door. I don't often have the window open, but it's warm. Uh, Boy, I'm really glad I don't have these lights going though, because that's adding even more. Um, when I was doing the green screen stuff, we're adding even more heat to the apartment. So don't have that, which is good. But yeah, right now I'm just like figuring things out. Um, the hope is to be back by Christmas. Uh, that's the main goal. Not Christmas, but the winter. I don't know when, but to come back to the city, to continue doing cool work, to come for a job is really what it is. And I'll be able to get some stuff done. One thing that's nice that I'm gonna do is, y'all, I plan this. We're figuring this out. I'm going to get my driver's license again. I have not had a valid driver's license in quite some time. I have uh, an ID, um, and I have a passport card, passport ID. But I'm going to get a driver's license because I will have access to a car to practice driving with, and then I will be able to use that car to get around and then I will have my driver's license. That'll be good to have. It'll be nice to put that on applications. Then when I come back to New York, I can just transfer it. So we did the head here, so we'll show the different angles. Because, yeah, while I can drive, it's not legal right now. I can't legally drive right now because I don't have a valid driver's license. All right, so we're on, basically this would be the third bag. If we hadn't annulled all of this already, we're on the third bag. Okay, chicken nut. Cool, cool. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Uh, One thing I will say that is on the horizon that you should keep an eye out on is June 23rd. June 23rd will be my 40th birthday, and I'm gonna do that week's bonus stream. I don't quite know what that week's bonus stream is gonna be, but it's gonna be related to my goddamn birthday. So I'm gonna do a Tuesday the 23rd stream instead of Wednesday the 24th, unless some guests that I'm trying to get involved in a stream can't come on the 23rd. If I can't get the guests that I would like on the 23rd, I might do it on the 24th. It can be whatever you want. Yeah. So that's the plan right now. Is to do a bonus stream to celebrate my birthday because look, was I going to throw a big party? Probably not. I wasn't going to throw a rager. That's not my style. But was I going to do something for my 40th birthday? Yeah, I was going to do something. I may have to stream early that day. Well, Harold, yeah. However you want to do it, my friend. Um, the plan is to actually have it be on my birthday, but like I said, part of it is doing is streaming. It's all going to be bonus stuff, no building. It'll all be bonus stuff. Um, right now, I don't know the specifics of it, other than um, I'd like to have guests on and do some stuff with guests. I don't know what exactly that's going to entail. Um, but I want to celebrate my birthday with friends and with streaming friends and with friends playing along with me. That might mean doing a Jackbox stream uh, with guests. That might mean doing a I don't know. I've been thinking, yeah, Jackbox. Somebody said, "Hey, isn't June the anniversary of 404ing it?" And I have to look up the date because I don't actually know the exact day. I can't remember off the top of my head. Um, but June is when it started. It was the first one. So let's see. Let's see if I do Pepper and Kirk's. I wrote one day. I wrote about it because uh, I wrote about it a couple years ago when it was happening, and I don't remember uh, exactly when it was, which is a shame. Someday I'll remember. I'll look it up, but it was in June. So I'm like, oh, that also could be fun. Can I do a digital 404ing it? Probably. Um, I haven't tested showing video with uh, Jitsi, but I've heard very good things about Jitsi, so I might test that. Um, but if the audio works good for my guests, that they can see some stuff, maybe I'll do like a digital 404ing it, or do another. I could do another Smack Talk Showdown stream. That might be fun to do. Get some of my wrestle friends on, um, and do something with that. I have been. I have some options, and I think it will be a fun stream for people, and then it'll be. Uh, so I know a friend of mine did a thing for his birthday where he just set up a Zoom all day, and then just people came in. He just had it going while he did some stuff, and then people could kind of come and go at their leisure. I stayed. Some people stayed for hours. Some people stayed for minutes, and I was like, that's kind of fun. But I also like, why not make it something with streaming? So maybe I can do something where like I stream for like a bunch of hours, and I like set up like, okay, well at this time, this thing's gonna happen. Uh, so like, hey, if like I've invited these people to come and do a thing at this time, and then at this time, this thing's gonna happen. But I'm probably not gonna do that because that would require like a producer, and I'm not gonna really worry about producing the event. Um, but yeah, I might just do a. I might also do a thing where part of the stream is like uh, I'll just do the Jackbox and maybe not even have like guests playing and worrying about like their video and all of that. I might just have like a Discord open and invite a bunch of people to anytime they want. They can jump into Discord and then their audio will be out to people, and then we can kind of like hang out and talk. And if people want to play and follow along on the stream, like the audience does, we could do it like that way. So I'm thinking about that. Uh, I don't know. I got some options. I've got some time, but I want to kind of have some fun people for my life. Like do a silly thing with me. Um, and I think that will be neat. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Like, oh, that'd be fun. Let's see. I don't know. Of course, we got our build stream tonight. We're going to be working on this. I promoted the what is it's the VDM-01, the Turn A Gundam. We'll also be working on the Turn A Gundam. Um, I don't know, like, because this build, like, I don't think is going to take 2 hours to finish up, but it'll take most of the stream to do it. So, like, I don't know exactly when we'll start the next one, but, like, I was like, well, we probably get to it, because this wasn't a huge Lego set, and it doesn't, it's not a hard thing to build. So, I think we'll get we'll get into it. I don't know how far we'll get with it, but we'll get into it. Um, and that was from Wills, and I believe that'll be the last. That most likely will be the last thing from a wish list built on stream, because I've now adjusted the wish list address to be my parents' place, but I don't want them to send me stuff just for me to have to bring it back. So, hello, Dirty, welcome. So the plan is now is I have some stuff to build. Anything I don't build, I'll just bring with me. So I'm not worried about that. But I have a few things to build on stream for a while, and that shouldn't be a problem. And if really necessary, I'll do overnight shipping of something if I run out of things to build. Um, I have a Lego set that I'm basically keeping for like the last possible. And as I said, the real question right now is between July 1st and July 5th is okay. Well, I don't know. I might have to take a week off from streaming in the beginning of July. If I do, you'll all know. I'll let everybody know. I'll tell everybody. But I hope I don't. So I hope we just everything's cool. But it might. But of course I'll let you know. All right, let's get another decal on here. Let's get these decals going. Uh, yeah, right now I've just been doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of throwing things away. I just accumulated so many boxes. Part of the thing is that like I don't like throwing Amazon boxes away because you can just use them for stuff, but I don't need all of these. And I'm also going to buy bigger, better boxes to store things in. Or if I'm going to ship, I'm going to a shipping place to mail stuff. Like I'm not going to I don't need these. I don't need all these boxes that I have. Uh, I did send four. Oh my god! I sent 4 boxes from reg. I've definitely done that. Yeah, 4 giant boxes. These are large boxes that I have now already sent out to Lego Replay. And you know they'll be cleaned and processed, and uh, some lucky kid is going to get or kids, multiple kids, I'm assuming, but we'll get a lot of very cool Lego. And I am very happy that I was able to facilitate that. Because I think I don't know, that felt good. Um, I looked to see if nobody that I could find online specifically recycles Gunpla. There are people that will take your Gunpla in bulk, but they're not specifically like reusing it for anything. So I just recycled. It's all plastic recycling, and that's fine. Uh, but I looked to see if anybody was doing anything with it. No one I could see. I mean, there are people that are like, "I'll take your Gunpla, mail it to me, and I'll make something with it." And I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for like a donation to like make kids happy. And it's fine that I didn't. It's fine that I couldn't find that, but it was what I was looking for. Um, but and now what I'll do is phase the South Carolina phase of the streaming is any Lego stuff I come in, I will build and then disassemble and then prep to send out to Lego Relay over time, and as opposed to what I had to do here, which was like massive and nonsense. It's just like I'm gonna get a good sized box and fill it, and when it's done, when it's filled, then I'll get the shipping label and go to drop it off at FedEx and do it like that. And that way it won't like take over and become like a project where I won't have to do what I did today, which was get an Uber to bring them to FedEx and then take the subway home. Uh, I do not want to do that again. Of course, I will, the ability to have a car, access to a car, even before I renew my or get a new license. The idea of just having my folks be able to chauffeur me places. My dad hasn't been using his bike, so I guess I'm gonna bike again. That's. I mean, it's fine. My dad is a large man like myself, so I'm not worried about that bike. That bike could handle him. It can handle me. So when I get down there, at first I will just use my phone and bike, and that'll be good. Get some exercise, and then also, figure something out. Uh, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to be positive about all of the shenanigans that I'm getting up to. I've been considering buying a fat tire bike recently. Heck yeah, that could be an option. Oops, this is supposed to go like that. So this has got to go like this. So this can go like this. Yeah, look at that. That looks cool. That's fun. All right, we'll keep building this up here. This goes over here. So that's our wing. Man, this is a real cyber dragon, right? It's pretty cool. I'm digging it. Put that there. But yeah, I mean, how's everybody doing? Not hi, hi. How's everybody doing? Doesn't seem like a thing to ask. Hello. I hope you're all okay. I mentioned this to a friend um, that was talking about killjoys, and like, look, things are fucked, and we're gonna work on it and figure and try and succeed and do the work we need to do and be there for each other. But we're also not going to police each other's joy. I had a great meal tonight, very full. Nice. Lashbrook, also food related. I had a giant burrito as well as chips and queso, so I'm doing better. It's been a long week. I'm sure it has, Lashbrook. And I'm glad you got yourself some chips and queso and a giant burrito. And I'm glad, Dirty, you had a great meal. Harold, I'm glad you're okay. But yeah, particularly, one thing we're not going to do, and when I say we, I'm talking to everyone, but I'm specifically talking to allies, is that we're not gonna police, terrible term, but good for this one. We're not gonna tell people who are suffering not to have moments, not to take moments. So like, yeah, I'm sure that if you're not a gamer and you saw your feed today for an hour all be PlayStation 5 stuff, you might look at that and go like, this isn't important. This isn't anything. What the fuck? What happened? Are we giving up on stuff? Are we forgetting things? Are we back to normal? And it's like, for some people, probably, there are probably some people out there who did the work. They retweeted. They wrote things. They donated to multiple things. And they to some people, they're done. Not everyone. But there are some people who just wanted a little joy. And, that is the philosophy I have tried to implement here with stuff, is that we are We are entertainment, but we are not escapism. Uh, if you only want me to talk about model kits in anime without any sort of cultural lens, you are in the wrong stream. Because even when we talk about, uh, we're going to talk about anime. Hello, Bald Ridge. Well, Bald Ridge, last night I raised $300 for the Bail Network, the Bail Project, I should say, not network, project, Bail Project, and that's awesome. Sang a bunch of songs, had a great time, raised some money that was not there previously. Voice is pretty good, all things considered, because I definitely was pushing myself on that. We're building a model kit. We were talking about how, like, yeah, we're going to take a break from things. But, like, one of the anime I'm going to talk about after the pause of the cause, uh, we're going to talk about classism and class system. And because that is a thing that is about that anime. Now, I could look at an isekai like that and say, well, it's just a goofy thing and oh, blah, blah, blah. But, like, no, this anime does have things it's about. So we're going to do that. Wish I could have stuck around. Looked fun. Bald, it was fun. It's on my YouTube. If you're interested, my youtube.com/PatBaer. If you want to check out the archive. But, like, it was fun. I finished cleaning up after the tropical storm. Oh, decidedly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got hit with a storm. Those are, what can I say? They're not a great time. Uh, I hope everything's all right. And the people you care about are okay. Um, but yeah, I mean that so like I said, living in New Orleans is occupational hazard. Yep, yeah, that makes sense. Um, but no, I mean so that's where we're at with like what was I gonna say? Where we are here right now is like I'm gonna be happy about the queer furry game that got announced with the non-binary lead on a Sony event. I'm gonna be happy about that. I'm gonna be joyful about that. I'm gonna be happy that my friends like were showcased in that big thing with a bunch of different devs talking. That numerous people I know like were in that little thing. I'm gonna be happy that like people that I care about like can finally talk about the games they're making and the work they're doing. Uh, like I'm gonna have moments of feeling okay, and while it's good to be vigilant that we're not like that it's not just like the thought of the week and that we're not done with things and that things aren't done, the work isn't done. Moving forward, while it's definitely been helpful to have bail network stuff being taken care of, now in a couple weeks it's going to start being time for defense funds and working and looking to make sure that the nonprofit groups that are out there, the folks that are working pro bono, have the resources they need because that's definitely coming and the civil lawsuits will be coming. And so like that work is going to be continuing to come. Uh, it is yeah, we're not done, but also we can celebrate some fun moments. It being June, like I'm still going to be psyched about pride stuff. Like it's good to be critical, certainly, and we're going to be critical of like police presence at pride events and fucking we're not going to smile that two New York police cars have like fucking pride colors on them and any other bullshit. We can talk about the cool PS5 stuff and demand justice. Yes, for the murder of Breonna Taylor. Well, 100% Bald. We can. We can contain multitudes. As I said, this is entertainment that is not escapism. There are people out there who will tell you that like no blank talk on the stream. We don't talk about that stuff. We're not a place for that. We're not a place for. There's so much negativity and bad stuff out there and bad vibes and all that. It's like, okay, sure. Okay, man with a platform, because it's, look, are there women and non-binary folks out there who are like, I don't want to talk about that stuff? Yes, but we'll be a general about this. If you are telling people that, like, that's not what the stream is for, that's not what I do this for, you're a white man. You identify as a white male. Come on, you're a white straight male. Uh, if you're like, no, we don't get into that stuff around here. We're just like focused. No, I stream Hearthstone and I don't talk about things. Like, yeah, I get it. Um, there's a Hearthstone streamer. This was like last year. This was during last year, yeah, where someone was saying something about like, did you vote today? Because they knew what state that person was in, and there was voting happening for primary stuff. So this must have been, yeah, this was like 2019, like some local stuff, right? It is spineless. Well, so it's Baldridge. A lot of it is that it obviously, and like, hey, let's fucking call a spade a spade. It's privilege, right? They're privileged in that they don't have a personal stake in this, or they don't perceive to have a personal stake in this, or they perceive their personal stake, it does not outweigh the perceived loss of revenue or from taking a stand, right? So instead of doing that, they try to take no stand, which is taking a stand. But that way, at worst, if you don't say anything, you disappoint people that wish you would say something. But if you do say something, you disappoint people that you didn't say anything sooner. But also, you disappoint people that don't agree with you or wish you wouldn't give them a reason to disagree with them, right? Because sometimes it's like, look, you can think whatever you want. These are for people who are assholes. You can think whatever you want, just don't say it so that I can pretend that we don't disagree. Because it's not even that they don't want you to have values. They just don't want you to tell them, because then they have to act on those values. Where I have always been from a position that I want to know when I want people to show me their whole ass, so I know what it is. Like, I want that. I don't want to actively cut people out of my life, but I do want to know when there's nonsense afoot and it's time to cut out some bullshit. Like, when it's time to cut out bullshit, I want to know it's time to cut out bullshit, right? There's a lot going on in this world, and there's a lot of stuff and people and things. And if you can tell me that, like, man, I'll tell you this. When a tech dude tweeted about protecting his family and his property, uh, uh, and defend himself and his property from people coming through his street. Well, I'm done with that guy, and I don't miss it. I don't miss his daily YouTube videos and his tweets. Don't miss them. I don't need to know what's going on with him. I do not care. It did not matter. If this person was a friend of mine, perhaps I would be like bummed as shit. Oh, certainly, if this is somebody that I knew personally, I would be bummed that is what they were coming down on, and that was their response to what was happening. I would certainly be very unhappy. But as someone that I just watch their entertainment, watch what they make, get the fuck out of here. I don't need this. Get the fuck out. I don't need this shit. No thanks. So talking about streamers before, right? The ones that really don't say anything. This was like an election, local election. Someone mentioned something to one of the streamers because someone in chat asked if they had voted because they knew, what state they were in. They knew that there was election stuff, and the person was basically just like, "Hello, Surfer Ninja, welcome." The person was basically like, "Look, I don't pretend to know what's going on in my local community. I don't do the research. I haven't done the research, so I don't feel like it makes sense for me to vote. And it was like, well, what a fucking bummer. 20 something year old white dude. Cool. Maybe fucking get engaged with things. I don't know. Like, maybe you want to know what's going on locally. It's been a while since I showed up here. Yes, Surfer Ninja, it's been a little while. We're working on the Empire Dragon. It's a dragon. Look. Uh, the changes that I've made to my display and layout and style of the layout, these are very new. So it's not like this is like. I do want to point out that we just changed around like how I have my overhead, getting rid of the green screen stuff, switching things up. This is new. So you're here. You haven't missed this. This hasn't been like, you know, a while coming. This is pretty new. But yeah, they outline has to improve, but give it a pass. Laziness. Yeah. Give me it when I go try to yell at my Mr. Twitch for shenanigans. I get what you're saying, Pat. It'd be better if the streamer. No. No, Epic World. My thing is, um, like, it doesn't take much breath to say, I didn't vote. If you're passionate about voting, please do. Um, please don't let my ignorance stop you. Uh, and it would have been way better if this person was active. And did something like, yeah, I voted today and whatever. It's like, yeah, I got 2 primaries. Oh, we vote by mail here. Like, it's fucking, because this was 2019. We're not in a good spot. You gotta fucking, come on. Um, I mean, obviously, it has been harder to for this. Like, there's always been a battle when it comes to these things. Uh, you know, I'll say this: I was surprised, as with a lot of people were surprised, that on we should give up my mail here, right? I still have not gotten my absentee ballot. There's primary here on the 23rd, and supposed to get a sickness-related absentee ballot so that I don't have to go and vote in person, and it has not arrived yet. Hopefully, it will arrive. I mean, I will go and do it. I will do my civic duty, even if I'm moving from this area. There's still a local person that I want to support. My birthday was a month ago, and my graduation was last Friday. Congratulations! We're going to throw the applause in there. Surfing Ninja, happy belated birthday and happy graduation. I'm sorry that your graduation couldn't be awesome. I'm sure it was good. I hope that you had a cool digital graduation, which maybe isn't a thing. I don't know. Like that. Yeah, if you were looking for bells and whistles, I'm sorry that most likely didn't happen. But yeah, one thing I did want to point out with the voting stuff is that, like, Brian Kibler, who made his name in the world of Magic, is one of the few streamers out there that uses his real name because he got well known in the Magic Gathering community before streaming was really a thing that people like knew and did. So he just uses his real name. But Kibler made a YouTube video on election day, not election day. Sorry, on voting. Not inauguration, but election. Yes, election day. Made a video that was just like, hey, if you're in the U.S., go out and vote. Okay, stream is breaking up real hard. Surfing Ninja, I'm sorry to hear that. Dirty just gave you a tier 1 sub, so we'll thank that. Welcome to the subscription. I'm sorry that you're having streaming issues. I'm sorry to hear that. You might want to check the quality of it. Maybe you can drop the quality down some. I think that option is out there for people, right? Uh, but yeah, enjoy your sub gift. Um, thank you, Dirty, for that. That's very nice of you. Um, and yeah, he put a video out that was basically like, hey, like people fought for your right to vote. If you're in the U.S., go out and vote. And it was like, it wasn't a lot. It was not a lot. He didn't campaign for anyone. He didn't really talk about it on streams. But like, it's sad that comparatively that's huge, but it was huge. It was huge that uh, that a streamer of prominence, that a person with a good YouTube following, like a pretty great YouTube following, like made a video that was like, "Hey, go vote." Like that's that shouldn't be big, but it was big. Uh, and the hope is that people will be there. Uh, oh, you got the high grade 144 goof. Nice surfing. I hope you enjoy that. I love a good goof. Haha. Get it, get it, get it, y'all? Like jokes? No, I like the goof. All right, we're going to finish up this one part here. We're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, so I can talk about ways you can support the stream if you'd like. But I'm going to finish up these weapons here first, and then we will get into the pause, and then we will, because there's very little of this kit left to build. So I figured I'd finish this off, and then take our pause for the cause, talk about ways you can support the stream if you'd like to, or you're under an obligation to do that, and then we will. What are jokes? I get jokes. And then after we finish the pause for the cause, we will start working on our Turn A Gundam, one of the weirdest main storyline Gundams, a show with very few Gundams, a show that was very weird for its time, and now still weird. AKA the White Doll, AKA the Mustache Gundam. We'll be building that. But yeah, we're done. We finished it. Y'all, check out our dragon. Our dragon looks cool. It's got cool weapon things. It doesn't really seem to have a place for the. Oh no, you can have him. Oh yeah, he's got a place for him to sit here at the controls, so we can put him there. Kibler is a snack and a half, says Bald. Love when he drops back in the magic world. Yeah. Also, Lord Crashton wants me to hit that gong. I'll hit that gong. Kibler is my age and is, victory gong and dirty as well. So my internet just decided to break for a minute there. Oh, I'm sorry, surfing. But yeah, Kibler is a good egg, and yeah, you're not wrong. All right, so we got a bunch of extra pieces and stuff. Just gotta pack up what's left here, the extras, and then I'll take a photo of this, and then we will take our pause to the cause, and then we will start our next step, and we'll move on to another model kit. Let me just get these things here for a photo, then we'll get going. The next part. All right. Let's get a photo going here. What'd I miss? Oh, we were just talking. I finished up our dragon here. I'm going to take a photo of the dragon, and then we are going to move on. We're going to take a pause for the cause. For those that don't know, the pause for the cause is where I talk about ways you can support the stream if you'd like. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you want to, do that, you can. Let me just take a photo here. Saw a game, it's with Isekai style name. I have low stats, my class is leader, so I recruited everyone I know to fight the Dark Lord. That's awesome. That's a great name for a game. That is definitely a light novel name. Alright, so yeah. Alright, Empire Dragon is done. We finished this build. This build is ready to go. We're good on that. I hope you saw the bit about the goof I saw. Yeah, you said that you got a goof as a gift. That's awesome. That's rad. Yeah, that is a fun kit. All right, we're gonna take our pause for the cause, folks. Uh, title is I recruited my friends. We are going to take a quick break here. Just me talking to y'all break. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know you're a subscriber. You can use Twitch Prime. If you link your Amazon with Twitch, you get this thing. It's a token that you can use for free, and you're using other people's money to give me money, which is fun. Or you can use your own cash money, pocket money there. I always appreciate it. You're under no obligation to do any of the things I'm about to talk about right now. All the stuff I'm going to talk about, ways you can support the channel, these are all just like things you can do, but you don't have to do. I have a Patreon. If you'd rather support me on Patreon, you're more than welcome to join that. You got the on Raven. Oh, okay. Still hasn't shipped. That's a bummer. So I have a Patreon. You can join that if that's something you'd like to do. You're under no obligation to do that. There are different tiers. I should tell you that if you're going to join, yes, Jeff Bezos' money. You can spend Jeff Bezos' money. If you're going to join my Patreon, starting in July, they're going to charge sales tax, and I don't know who that applies to, and I don't understand. It won't apply to everyone, but it will apply to some people, and some people will be, instead of giving me $1, they're going to be giving me like $1.50, and I don't know who's going to be doing that, and it's all complicated, and everyone is scared of it because it already affected European people before, and now it's going to be affecting U.S. folks, and it's just weird. It's a whole thing. So maybe Patreon isn't the best choice, but I got one because some people don't want to do this, and they'd rather just do that. So I want to have options for people. If you wanted to, if you want to support the channel monetarily at a one-time thing, it's right here. Different ways: Coffee, Streamlabs, and PayPal. One-time donations. Anything that comes in during a stream goes to be buying kits and equipment. Part of the money that has come in just bought me a wireless card because I am going to be in a situation where I won't have a wire connection. So my computer will have to have a wireless internet connection, and so I got a wireless card that's coming this week, thanks to your wonderful support, which always means a lot to me. I have an Amazon wish list. Anything you buy in that wish list, I will build on stream. It normally jumps ahead of the queue, but because I'm moving next month, it's going to my future address so that nothing shows up here because everything's delayed. So if you buy anything from my wish list, just know that I won't be building it until July. And sorry. What I will do is anything that arrives, I'm going to ask my folks to open and take a photo of and show me so that I can at least know that it arrived. So we'll be doing that with anything that arrives there. But if you buy something on my wish list, it will go to my folks' place right now. I've got stuff on there, model kits, Lego sets. You buy it on there. That is an option. Lord Crash says backlog time. Yeah, I'm just trying to get through my backlog and then buying a few things here and there. You can also buy things from my, you could send me a gift card to USA Gundam Store. Now, I'll tell you right now, what I'm going to do with that is you buy a gift card there, you get a code, you whisper me or on here or send me a DM on Twitter. I'm going to be putting those towards pre-orders because that way it won't be something that I will get and then go to my folks' place. It'll be something in the future. The next thing that I would probably use that towards is the Ultimate Gohan action figure model kit, the Bandai kit, the Figurize Gohan, because basically it's Gohan powered up to his maximum stats. Gohan, I'm excited to do that. Yeah, USA Gundam Store, I enjoy them very much. They've been shipping and they've been doing an alright job. I have a pre-order with them for the Cup of Noodles model kit. I'm excited about that. That's months away. Okay, so we talked about that. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord if you'd like to do that. Post photos and stuff you're working on. That is a way to do that. That is a way to support what I'm doing. Is buying stuff from the Sorry, is posting photos of things you're doing. That's a nice way to support what's going on with me and chatting with each other. I got a couple links. There is a Surfing Ninja. There is a model kit that is coming out this year that looks like a cup of noodles, and it has the ramen and the noodles inside. And it is a model. It is an official model kit, branded model kit, and I have a pre-order for it, and I will be building it when that pre-order arrives. Ships. It should be very silly. So a couple links. Baering the List. I put this out on Wednesday. Baering the List is my ongoing ranking video series. I ranked all of the characters in Laid Back Camp, all of the main characters and a few supporting characters. I didn't make that list. Someone else made it, so I don't know why they included like somebody's little sister who is barely in it, but they did. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to include this. It'll be fine. That was a fun video. And this past Monday, I put out Pat Bear's Anime Club. And Pat Bear's Anime Club right there is talking about 6 queer shows that you can watch if you want to watch some queer anime. Some of them are sad, some of them are hopeful, some of them are just subtext, but definitely queer, and they're all lovely shows that you can, and they're all available for streaming, which was important. So if you want to celebrate Pride that way, you got some options. Let's see. I think that's it. We're going to talk about some anime in a second. I'm going to drink a little water first, and then we'll chat about some anime. And again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, all the stuff I just mentioned here will all be in the show description for this video. So if you're watching after the fact, or if you're watching the VOD, just look in the chat. I know some people that watch VODs on Twitch don't look at the chat replay, but check it out for those links that I just said. Because every once in a while somebody's just like, hey, I watched the VOD and I don't know where that thing is. And I'm like, oh, chat. You do that. Or you can always just tweet at me if you're like, hey, what's your YouTube again? But I'm going to drink a little water. You're going to stretch out a little bit. Folks want to get ready for it. We got a model kit to build. All right. Okay, put this there. Oops. And get our instruction book and go to, there it is, Turn A. So we're building the Turn A Gundam, the M01. This is one of the oddest Gundam, period. It is a fantastic, weird thing. This is a 2007 kit, which is so it's not like, the late 90s, very early 2000s, it's obviously mid 2000s kit. So the instructions are like good, but they're not great, but they're good. So you're going to see some English stuff in here. You're going to see some symbols of things and where to put things, but it's not a modern kit. The mustache one, indeed, the mustache Gundam, or the white doll, as it's often called. It has many names, and we are going to build it. And I'm going to also talk about some anime. So we had episode, all 3 shows here, they started the same week, so every show I'm talking about right now is on their 11th episode. Now, Tower of God is going to do 13 episodes this season, so even though, hi Pat, I just got here, says Blue, is this the Sid Me designed Gundam? Yes, this is. This is the Turn A Gundam. We are literally just starting it with the body unit, but yes, you are correct. So yeah, let's see, G H, I guess G. Tower of God, episode 11, but there's going to be 13 episodes. Shit is hitting the fan. Some people some minor characters are definitely dead. The little girl that if you watch the show, there's this little girl, and you're like, I think that you have some powers you're not showing. You're probably evil. So she hasn't revealed herself to be evil yet, but she does have some abilities that she definitely did not tell anyone about, and we got to see a little bit of that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, shit is hitting the fan, and uh, some characters are definitely about to be dead, probably, unless some things can get turned around. And we'll see if people end up pulling off the shit they need to pull off. But we got some motivation from some characters that kind of figuring out why people are helping other people, and it was like overall like a solid episode. The action was cool. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where things go with this series as it wraps up. It's kind of nice to see Raquel, just like Rachel, just like be a person and be like with Bam is nice. I didn't, like as I said this before when I started watching the series, I did not expect it to be this to be part of it. I did not expect them to spend time together. I figured the whole first season would be the chase, but that is not the case at all. Uh, they have interacted quite a bit, and that has been surprising. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes, y'all. And then let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, yeah, so that's just Tower of God. It was fine. It was a fine episode. Um, Now we get into the Eighth Son. So we were in episode 11 of 12, and look, the whole thing about this is an isekai, and yeah, there are a bunch of cute girls around, and he's overpowered, and it's nonsense, and all of that. But there's also been this whole like ongoing. Meanwhile, I'm just over here watching the older Gundam series on YouTube. Hey, you watch what you want to watch, my friend. Part of doing these streams is I get to talk about modern, current anime, and I always enjoy doing that. Eighth Son tries to keep things light when it can. Basically, we've kind of now realized the whole time. Now, I've gone on record as saying I assumed that the magician, the court magician, who has kind of been his mentor, who was definitely evil, and I'm still not convinced he's not, but we'll see what happens. But basically, a lot of this has led up to the idea that there's this land they can't do anything with because the current ruler of that land doesn't is just not good at doing this stuff and is poor and hasn't really figured out ways to develop, and they've wanted this access to land, and so they are bringing in this dude to, or that they kind of like have been setting up this, patsy, and they even say like they say about our hero here that like, oh, I'm surprised you've just kind of gone along with everything that the king and monarchy have said. We're actually surprised that you're conflicted about this current stuff. And the conflict is that like he's gonna he's gonna exile his brother and then force his father to resign his ownership of the land, making him the lord. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to kill my brother or banish him because my brother is not good at his job, but he's still my brother. So I don't want to do that. And yeah, it's been, as I said, it's definitely more than I would have expected from an isekai like this. There's a lot of intrigue, political intrigue stuff going on. Also, he invented mayonnaise, which was also in High School Prodigies are overpowered even in this world, or whatever that show is called. Um, there's something just so strange about it, about how like isekais, one of the a thing with isekais is that like introducing mayonnaise to the different world you have suddenly dropped into always goes over really well. That the people are always just like, what was this stuff? Hell yeah! Like such a strange thing. It's multiple shows. Um, oops. So overall, this is good. It's not like and in the end, uh, a guy that tried to mess with him before is going to facilitate uh, Kurt, his brother, with some sort of dragon. Which, like, on the one hand, sure, dragons are tough, but, like, he's beaten dragons before. He's killed undead dragons. Like, dragons are not a thing that this dude worries about. So I don't know if that's. I mean, it's probably just going to backfire, and obviously that's the point. But I don't know if you're like, oh, the people have turned on me, and they want my younger brother to be the ruler of the land. Uh, I know. I'll unleash this dragon on the people. It's like, nah, dude. Nah. I don't think that's going to work out the way you think it is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Uh, these the right pieces? Did I even pull the right pieces out here? I think I did. So yeah, it was pretty okay episode. I'll be interested in seeing how it wraps up. I'd like to see a little more fighting. Uh, Honestly, we've got this like character that kind of got entered into the storyline very late. The axe user who is super strong and loves eating and is a Deadeye character. She was introduced so late in the show that I'm like, I'd like to see a little bit of her doing stuff if possible. Get see some of her abilities. Just haven't really been able to see that, so I'd like to see a little more of it. It's good. I'm glad you're enjoying watching some Gundam stuff, Surfing Ninja. Hope you enjoy that. And then Kashigoto. Kakushigoto is one of the best shows this season. Obviously, this season has been very strange because of COVID across the world and how a bunch of shows were delayed, and that obviously has negatively affected. Like there are some shows that I'm sure are very good that just we didn't get all of or we didn't get any of. So I'm not saying that, but of the ones we have, one of the best ones is Kakushigoto, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a series to pick up. Um, we got a little bit more of the sad reality that we are going to be seeing soon, and that is always a bummer because we kind of know how it's going to end. We don't know exactly why, but it's a rough show. It was very fun. It was misunderstandings, and there was a joke about that I thought was very funny. Was they were standing around a well talking as if it was like a water cooler, and like, oh, we're having our water cooler moment. And I thought that was pretty funny. It's a cute show, but yeah, a lot of it was a misunderstanding where the manga author thought that he was being fired, but he wasn't being fired, and so he was working like he was finishing it up the story and how almost all of his assistants were like, "Oh yeah, I've been looking for a way to take a vacation or work on my own projects." Or one of them was like, "Yeah, I've been wanting to go back to school, so okay, sure," which I thought was pretty funny. Hmm. Folks, I cannot get these pieces to line up right, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Sometimes it's me, but I don't know if this particular time it's me. So this looks like that. Look at that. This goes in. Um, but yeah, got one more episode of the show. It's lovely. I'm really into it. I will be saddened when it is over because we are, as I said, approaching the conclusion of the show, and that is a shame. Oh, okay. I figured this out. These are open up, so they have to go on like that. Okay, so I was trying to slide this piece on, but instead you're just hooking it on. I got it now. Sorry, y'all. Uh, that didn't make any sense to me, and now it makes perfect sense. And that's going to go in like that. Okay. We'll figure that out in a second. Sorry about that, y'all. Sometimes I just don't understand what they're asking me. And like that. So those are the shows I watched. I only watched 3 shows. Diary of a Days of Breakwater supposedly is coming back. I know a few things are coming back at the end of this month. Supposedly, we'll kind of wait and see. And then new stuff is supposed to be coming in July. And again, we will wait and see what comes out and what doesn't. What got delayed, and then eventually they're like, oh, actually, it has to be delayed even more. So who knows? But yeah, if you're watching anything, I know Surfing says we're watching some Gundam stuff. If you're watching anything, you can let me know in the comments here in the chat. If you're working on any projects, always like to hear from y'all. You can let me know what you're working on, what you're doing, what's going on the street, going on out there. What you got going on? If you're checking out any entertainment, watching anything, doing anything, playing anything, maybe, just let me know. Because I like knowing. It is indeed half the battle. Alright, so yeah, I am. I've been binging a lot of. Sorry, try not to say binge. I've been marathoning a lot of weird rules stuff on SB Nation. A lot of SB Nation content I've been checking out. That has been kind of the thing that I've been most checking, watching, and observing because it is pleasant to watch and like usually pretty short subject stuff and full of weird things that I'm interested in. So yeah, I recommend. I'm kind of obsessed with a game called Enemy on Board. Okay. Cool. Um, I normally I have streamers that I like and I watch what they stream, right? And I don't like go to the games tab to look up stuff from, watch streamers I don't know play games that I'm interested in. But golf with friends is really fun, so sometimes I've been kind of just checking that out. Um, because I think the game is really cool, and I think that like if there's a good group of people playing it, like even if I don't know them, but they seem to be having a really good time, like that's been kind of fun. Free time has been real minimum lately, so Ashbrook, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. But I have been prepping an SD card for the Mister parts of getting this weekend. Heck yeah, Ashbrook. Good luck with that Mister. Please, keep us informed of how that's going as you start working on that Mister. Uh, 6 people on 2 rounds, 2 aliens for the crew. Oh, it's a deduction game. Social deduction games. Those are fun. That does sound cool. Uh, and I saw the internet's Will Smith streaming that looked crazy. Yeah. Kate Stark just played it the other day, and then her stream was done, and I was not done watching people play that, so I went and watched more people play golf with their friends, and it's just impossibly silly and fun. And I won't be surprised to see more people checking it out. And then is it Moving Out? Is the name of it? Moving Out's pretty fun if you got a good if your streamer that you like has a good crew of people. That can be pretty fun. No, Surfing Ninja. That sounds cool. That sounds like a fun time. I do like social deduction games. I think those are really fun and can be really challenging. They're hard to balance, but they can be really awesome. All right. Look, this kit is weird, because it like opens up and does all kinds of weird stuff. Like the kit has to be weird because the Gundam is weird. Like it's a reflection of a weird model kit. So like I get that it's got to be weird, but dang, this thing is odd. Just odd pieces. Also, 2007 is an era that I don't build a lot from. Like I said, I've built a lot of like 90s kits, and then I've started building kits from like 2010, 2012 plus, like the relaunches of things and the remakes of things to modern kits. But like the early to mid 2000s, I haven't built a lot of stuff that came out then because not a lot of stuff came out then. Like it was a kind of a down period for a lot of series. So I'm not surprised that I haven't built that much, but it's weird. Um, but yeah, I haven't. I've been playing Hearthstone, and then uh, I watched Abby from John Bomb play some board games and Tabletop Simulator for charity. Ended up with everybody trying to figure out how to draw the cool S. Okay, yeah. Sometimes the fun is how you make it. Uh, I will say that this kit doesn't have any, even for a master grade, it's weird. It just doesn't have any like of the rubbery plastic connectors, which is kind of interesting. It does have some dry transfers, and I might try one of these dry transfers. I don't know. It's got one on the head that I might try to do. Uh, I haven't decided yet, y'all, if I'm going to try. There's a couple stickers. Obviously, we'll apply the stickers, but as far as dry transfer stickers, like uh, I'm right now, like it'll be a game time decision if I go for that. Also, those obviously are old and might not want to transfer that well. Um, but we'll see. I might give it a shot. Uh, yeah, I've been playing Hearthstone still because I like Hearthstone, and trying to rank up in Wild, keep that stuff going. And I've been, yeah, I've been, doing few things here and there. Uh, so Surfing Ninja, yes, Lord Crouch just put a link into the Cool S. The Cool S is it's 3 lines, 2, 3, then 3 lines, then you connect them there, and then you do a top and a bottom, and it's kind of, yeah, it just it is the it for some reason is just be colloquially referred to as the Cool S. That thing, yeah, yeah, that thing is just a thing that we don't know. Nobody really knows why it culturally took off, but it is a thing that you just draw on the front of your textbook. You've got it covered, or you put in your notebooks just on the yeah. But yeah, but I don't know why. Nobody knows why. Why? But why does everyone all the time always know that? Why is it a cultural thing that we share? Why is it a collective thing for a lot of people across generations? We don't know why. We don't know why we like that cool S, but we do. We like that cool S. We just don't know why we do. It's a mystery, which I like. I like that. I like that we have a collective shared history of some things, and one of those things is that cool S is cool. Aliens. Uh, uh, to me, I always like. I want for me personally, I've said this, I think. Uh, I love the Dragon Ball kits, the figurized kits. I love that they did them for Kamen Rider. I think that's awesome, especially there's so many people across the world that love Kamen Rider, and the fact that they get good, cool kits to build, I think is rad, and I'm so psyched for them. But they've only done one Naruto action figure model kit, and I want more. Stop doing just one. They did one. It's Teen Naruto, and that's fine. But I want a bunch of them. I want a bunch of those. Uh, um, because I think they're rad, and I think it's just like a cool series. Uh, I want more of them. I want more of that. Bandai to put more out. Because I think it just like I don't know. They're just so cool. Like those kind of kits are great, and I think Naruto is a cool series and still on the television. I mean, it's not on television right now at the exact moment, but Boruto is still out there, so it's like, I don't know. Let me make a yes, Surfer Ninja. If you want to post a link, you're more than welcome to. Um, but like, let me make the Ninetale Fox model kit. Like, let me do that. Make that a thing that I can do. Okay, so you want this, which is the SRX Ban Prios from Super Robot Wars. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know a lot about Super Robot Wars. This is a cool looking thing. Folks, this is a cool looking thing. It also kind of looks like a Transformer, which is a good thing because Transformers are awesome. It kind of reminds me of a Prime, like an Ultra Magnus maybe, and that's a good thing because I think Transformers are cool. It's not a slight, it's not a negative, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, the headpiece does feel Gundam. You're not wrong. Uh, the first few seasons, the original Naruto is awesome. Yeah, Lord Crashes, I'm a big fan of it. Always have been. As a sweet mustache, yes. It's a combination of three robots. Yeah, so that's probably where the Transformers feels like because combiners and all that. That's a cool looking kit. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, every once in a while you kind of just be like, is this a kit? Did 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 this get successful in a way that they made it for me to be able to buy and build? No. Okay. I will say this. I'm worried about the live action Cowboy Bebop because it's a live action Cowboy Bebop, and I'm worried about it. But I'm pretty excited about the idea of maybe they will re release some model kits because the Swordfish 2 is very expensive in the aftermarket. And also, not a great build. That kit is not awesome. It could be way cooler than it is. So I would love it if they put money into making it like a better one. I mean, even if it's not the classic, even if it's whatever interpretation Netflix is gonna, the people that they hired to make this are gonna do, if it's like a different incarnation, but still, I'll do that. Yeah, he does seem like a fun Spike Spiegel thing. Yes, uh, Surfing Ninja, if you want to do that, you can. Yeah, post link in the chat. You're gonna post links to the three kits that combined to three robots, I should say, combined to make that robot. Uh, it's called Firefly. All right, okay, all right, Harold. Okay, Harold. No, I know what you mean. Um, uh, I don't know if it's this kit in particular or if it's kits from this era because like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with this era. This kit does not come together easy. This is not a fun snapping experience. It's fine. It doesn't have to be, but it definitely isn't. It doesn't have to be awesome, but it's definitely not great. Uh, yes, John Cho. Um, all right, I'm looking at these. Well, this okay. Oh, it's down there. Gallery's down here. Yeah, this is some cool shit. I like this shit. This is, as I said, I'm not very familiar with Super Robot Wars. Um, but that looks cool, Surfing Ninja. So you're not wrong with wanting to do a model kit of it. The other one that like I'm just gonna have to someday spend too much money to get it is I built it in the 90s. I'd like to build it again someday. I would have to spend a bunch of money to do it, but someday, uh, I'm gonna get the Outlaw Star ship complete with hands, and I'm gonna put that together as a kit. Someday I'll spend the money on that because I built that in the '90s and really liked it. So I'd like to do it again someday. I don't know when, but I will. It's just all right. Well, go in there, snapping place. Do I have to take you out like this? Pull all these out like this because they're gonna try this way. Yeah, this is a little cool. Psychic plus most powerful substance on Earth plus hot-blooded pilot. That's a deadly combination, but also very cool. Uh, let's try now. Let's try like that. Pulled out. That'll work. Let's try like this. Sorry, y'all. I'm struggling a little bit with this kit. Not sure why, but it is it's been giving me trouble left and right. All right, so let me try to attach this like this. Okay, so that went into place exactly where I want it. And now maybe I can put these back on. There we go. Yeah, that was maybe the order is weird. I don't know. That felt odd. We got that. We got it right. And then this goes like this. We're going to wrap up the stream in a couple minutes, a little bit. We got a little time. We're just working on this here. But we'll, at a certain point, wrap up. And we, of course, raid somebody because that's what we do here is we find someone cool to go see what they're up to. I'm not sure where we'll end up tonight, but, the hope is that we can find somebody awesome, foremost. It's up to somebody that I know goes late because the problem that sometimes we run into is like we'll go and raid somebody who wraps up like 15 minutes later, and that's not fun or fair to y'all. So we'll try to find somebody who's doing some cool stuff that we can go and hang out with and enjoy their company. 10, great. But yeah, next stream will be on Saturday. We will continue with this kit, and I'm looking forward to continue to work on it. I will attempt to have some sort of topic of discussion because, I'll have a couple shows to watch for that stream, but not a lot of, thoughts on things in the world. So I'd like to have a couple things we can chat about. Topics of discussion. And not just talk about me moving and all that other stuff. Getting things ready. Just like, did you ever notice you have way more cardboard than you thought you did? Like, I don't really need to be telling you that over and over again. I've had that happen before. Stayed on for a bit longer, which is happy reason to keep going. Yeah. Well, Lord Crescent, we had this like last week or the week before. Maybe it was last week, where just as we were going to raid someone, we got raided, and I felt terrible because I was like, "Oh no, I'm not here." But yeah, I want to keep the entertainment going because I know that like obviously folks on the West Coast, when I wrap up here, it's 9 o'clock or not 9 o'clock. What is it? It's 8 o'clock for y'all. Like that's not late. You've got more entertainment time probably. So obviously East Coast, maybe you're wrapping up, you're going to bed, but I know that not everyone is in that situation. So I'd like to try to find something for you to keep going, and then also we can support some people. And then hey, I pick good communities. I will say almost everyone that I raid has at least one time someone in their chat has gifted me a sub to their channel, which I'm not hunting for or asking for. They just are good people and do it, and that's always nice. Like I said, it is a nice pleasant surprise. It's not something that I'm like hunting for, but they're usually like sometimes they'll just see like, oh, Pat's not a subscriber, so then they do it. And that's just sweet of how nice their communities are. Like that's always been cool. Always cool to see when people do that. Uh, all right, and let's find G21. But yeah, I've been trying to share the love, uh, and find cool people that you can kind of hang out with. Maybe you'll find some cool games, find some cool streamers. Uh, that's a Mario Party mini game rating a stream right before, and they go with another one. Yeah, just like the parade of people, the passage of time. All right, so we got to slide this in. This is such a weird look. Look at the pieces, the components we've had to put together for this. It's just so weird. All these like weird, like a lot of these parts aren't snapping together. They're just sliding into place. It's just a, it's just a weird thing because uh, I should say if you've never seen Turn A Gundam, I don't think it's great. I do think it's good, but this Gundam, first of all, I love it because it is covered. Who you rated last night is awesome. Oh yeah. Um, Ben rules. Ben is such a good person, and his stream was so fun last night. Um, because he was discovering like a new to him game and having a great time with it, and his joy was so infectious. But yeah, Ben is awesome. Bengineering out there on. But yeah, he was checking out that was the pirate game. I can't remember. You know the name of it. I don't remember. It's the pirate game that people play with each other, and it's fun. It seemed fun. I haven't played it, but see, he was having a good time, and I like that. I like that he was having a good time. Um, sea of Thieves. Yes, thank you. Sea of Thieves. Yeah. Yeah, he was having a great time playing Sea of Thieves, and that's awesome. I was glad he was having a great time with it. What was I going to say? I was going to say that, yeah, sometimes you just find out that people are playing a thing and hanging out, and it's nice to be able to share the love a little bit, check in with people, see what they're up to, and yeah, like I said, sometimes they gift subs, and that's kind of neat and nice, and it just also just continues to support that channel. Sid Meier's Pirates. Uh, yeah. The Sea of Thieves seems fun if you got a good crew, and also, like all games of that nature and that style, it's more fun if you have people who uh, know what they're doing and can guide you. Having a guide in a world is always really nice. It's it is fun to kind of figure things out on your own, but when you can get there, when you can like really, you know, bring it all together and you can get a guide to kind of show you what's up, what's going on. It can be pretty cool. Oh yeah, well I was talking about this Turn A. So this series just has two Gundams in it, and it's this weird. It's an alternate universe story, but it also is theoretically canon along the main storyline. It's in the distant future of the main storyline. So it's like the last it's like one of the last Gundams. But one of my favorite things about it is it's called the White Doll because for a long time nobody knew it was a Gundam. They just thought it was a statue, and it's where it was just like a statue in the town, and it's where like teens went to like hang out and have like rites of passage and whatever. And it was basically just like the quarry, the thing at the quarry, and I just love that as a story a beat of like, yeah, that's where whatever people hang out, and then people were like, oh wait, that's a vehicle of some sort and a weapon. Yes, Surfing Ninja says. So, what timeline is Turn A in? Yes. So I know that for a fact that it's like basically like future continuity, or futures universal story. And there are people who know more about it than I do. I don't pretend to be an expert. I'll do a little more research about it because it is good to be able to come from a place of like kind of understanding what's going on with it. But uh, I I mean I watched it when it was when I was watching it. I think believe subtitled at the time. Uh, so I watched it, but I just don't remember a lot of it. I mean I remember that it had like a weird looking Gundam. Well, yeah, Surfing Ninja Gundam X is pretty much its own story, but you could, if you wanted to, believe that it is the post apocalypse of the main storylines in the future, but it also can be its own thing. And it's honestly mostly its own thing because people didn't like it, so it isn't gonna like show up in it conversations because it is a very unpopular show. It's one of the uh yeah, like a future century. I don't know. Well, because there's the universal century, and then there's the alternate century, and then there's the future century. They're bad names. It's all whatever. Only experience I have with X is from the Alpha Gaiden. People from Alpha sent to the future. Yeah. So X came out directly after Gundam Wing, which was one of those pop. It was the rebranding, revitalization. People who had like loved Gundam in the past were like, "Oh, there's a Gundam," and people that didn't grow up with it, that were like of a perfect age for it, were like, "Oh, this thing rules." Or people that had been like, "G Gundam went too far. G Gundam is too weird," and and had that at least. And so then they had this Gundam series to check out. And Wing was like incredible. And then X is its own thing, but also uh, Future Century was G Gundam. Thank you, Lashbrook. That's right. Future Century was G Gundam. But G Gundam is its own thing in its own little pocket. But it was like that was a huge departure. Um, and then Gundam X was kind of just like its own weird little thing that just kind of happened, uh, and it was in many ways like it was telling a story of the post-war efforts, and it was because it was after war Gundam X, um, uh, and it was taking place like mostly on Earth, and there were some Gundams, but there weren't a lot of Gundams, but there were new types, and there was like a story, like, and it boils down to like boy meets girl, girl's into fucking shit, boy gets into fucking shit to protect girl, and grows as a person and finds he has more to fight for than he originally believed, and it's like a good story, but Japan was just like, we do not like you. Uh, we do not like this show. We liked the direction you were going with the other Gundam series with Wing. Uh, we do not like X, and it was for a long time the lowest rated Gundam series of all time. It did horribly, and up until 2 years ago, did not have a U.S. release, not an official subtitled release, because it just never did well, and people were never on board with it, and never wanted to give it the time of day, and then eventually people were like, "All right, fine. Well, completionists want a Blu-ray of it, so I guess we'll do that." But yeah, it just never did well, and people were never into it. And then the Gundam Force. Uh, Forget what it's called, the Chibi one, the one that debuted in America before it debuted in Japan, the only Gundam series ever to do that. That became the new worst rated Gundam series of all time, and that saved X from being the lowest rated. Imagine being the Gundam series SD Gundam Force. Yes, SD Gundam Force. Imagine being the first series, the Gundam series that came out after Wing and getting canceled, and then having to like rush through your final episodes because you knew you were being canceled. Imagine Gundam is back better than ever, baby. Wing is here, and people are fucking psyched about Gundam again. Model kit sales are through the roof. And then people were like, not you. Oh. All right, so we got a lot done here. This thing is so weird. We got more to do. I got to take this apart because I put it on the wrong. Uh, oops. I got to put that piece on right, but I'll do that post stream. Um, yeah, I mean, look, it. Here's the thing: Gundam X isn't that great. It's just not that great. Anyway, all right, what's going to happen right now is I'm going to go find us a stream to raid because that's what we do here is we raid at the end of streams. As I said, my next build stream will be on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come see me stream then, please do. Let's see what we got going on here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go in there. Okay, y'all, we're gonna go raid Mary Kish, who's playing Silent Hill Homecoming with Nina. Nina rules. They're doing it together, so we're gonna go raid Mary Kish because Mary's awesome. You don't have to come to the raid if you don't want to, but if you're more than welcome to. If spooky games are not your thing or you're just done for the night, but we are gonna go and give a raid to Mary, so feel free to come along. Thanks so much for watching. We're going to continue working on this kit because there's more to do with it, obviously. And thanks for being here. And I'll see you on the next build with Baer. They're looking at holes in Silent Hill. Yeah, I'll see you. Bye-bye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.